Hi, everyone. Welcome to Psychic Connection, Collaboration Over Competition. And today I have the pleasure of speaking with Heather Julia Campbell. So welcome, Heather.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm going to start right in, Heather. And my first question is, you're a medium as well. So how do you receive your messages?
Okay, so for me, I can see, hear, and feel spirits. I don't really have control over how I receive them, those messages, but I do receive them in all different ways. So a lot of times when I'm hearing, I will hear them speak to me, I'll hear them talk, and then I will communicate that. Sometimes I'm shown visions of different things. It can be something as simple as an apple or a tree or an elaborate person behind a lake kind of doing something
Okay.
in visions, or I will physically feel things, or I might just also kind of know, if that makes sense, right? A thought might
Oh,
pop
yeah.
up out of,
Yeah. So
yeah.
you'll get thoughts too.
Yes. Hmm.
Yeah, and sometimes you just know. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, you just know. Okay. Yeah, mine is primarily thoughts, but once in a while I'll get visions. But yeah, you have a real variety, which is really nice. That's great. So I see that you are attracted to crystals. So explain to me, like, what is your fascination with crystals?
Okay, I am an avid crystal lover.
Yeah.
They're all over my home. They're all over me all the time. I think for me, the biggest thing is they've really helped me throughout my healing journey. The first time someone handed me a crystal, it was carnelian. I was on the verge of a panic attack. I was really upset. I was trying to calm myself down and I couldn't. And this woman handed me a crystal and I
Mm.
kind of looked, what is this going to do? But she was like, just take it. So I
Right.
took it and all of a sudden I calmed down. My
Yeah.
anxiety on, like I was able to breathe again. And I'm
Mm.
like, wait, what did you just hand me? And she was like, a rock. And I'm like, no, seriously, what else is in here? Because I knew nothing about crystals at all.
Yeah.
And from that day forward, I started to do a tremendous amount of research on crystals and I started to build up my collection because of how they helped me. They all have different vibrations and they all have different healing properties, physical, emotional, and spiritual. And they have really helped me on my journey. So I like to have them around me at all times.
Wow. So I guess you definitely use them during your readings.
I do, and it's different. And I do tell my clients because I'll have, crystals all in front of me and I will randomly pick them up and I will
Right.
have them
Yeah.
right. And I'll like there's one in my hand. There's always a crystal
Right
in my
now.
I don't know why I do it. It's different crystals all the time. I guess maybe they just make me feel a little bit more comfortable. And yeah, they help. They really
Right.
do.
Do you ever hand any to your client if you're reading them, or no, you just hold on to them for yourself?
I always hold on to them for myself. I usually don't give them to the client. I sometimes I am told to tell them that they need some crystals, specific crystals to help them. Um,
Okay. Okay.
but no, I've never. I have given clients, crystals.
Oh, so you've given some
That's kind of after a reading or something.
after
I might,
reading.
oh, you know what, this is meant for you, and I would give to them, but not actual reading. Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's great. Wow. Yeah. I know I would love to learn a little bit more about crystals. I actually have some. People have given them to me, but I really don't know what they are. But I do find myself holding them when I'm doing my prayers, and it just, yeah, it makes me feel better. So I kind of understand, yeah, where you're coming from with that. Yeah. So getting back to medium, do you find that there are some common themes that come through in your medium readings?
Um, I have noticed a pattern. I feel like in the beginning, when I first started doing readings, there
Mhm.
was a pattern. It was women who have been abused or currently in abusive relationships.
Wow. Okay.
I was doing a lot of readings for them, and they're not easy messages to deliver, especially when
No.
husband or the boyfriend comes up.
Right.
But I'm meant to deliver them, and I've helped people kind of get out of that relationship from my reading.
That,
So
that's
that
so
has,
excellent.
yeah. But that's the only one that's really been consistent. And normally usually it's women who come to me as well, not so much men.
Yeah, definitely it seems women, right, want to come for readings as opposed to men. Not as many are believers, I feel, I guess, men in diversity.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, have you noticed that, with COVID, how has that affected, your medium readings? Do you have more people, less people, or, how's it flowing?
I have less people. So for me, I have a son, I have a 6-year-old,
Mhm.
and with COVID, he was automatically home, all the time.
All the
um,
time.
right. And I won't do readings in front of him.
Right.
So my business kind of was stagnant, for quite some time. I couldn't do it. Of course, that, I'm divorced. My ex-husband is great, and he was helping a lot as much as he could with
Mhm.
him, within, his own work and stuff like that. But it's been very difficult to
Yeah.
have. I'm starting to build back up now because
Right.
he's school. He is in aftercare.
Mhm.
So I do have childcare for him, but it was really tough
Yeah.
those first couple months because I wasn't able to do anything.
Yeah, you couldn't because you had to take care of your son, right? Yeah. But do you feel now that you've adjusted with your son, are there more people wanting to connect?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. A lot of people have reached out, especially lately. Actually, a new pattern that I've noticed
Right,
is
right.
people wanting to know about their soulmate. When are they going to meet the one? How are
Right.
they going to?
Yeah.
What does he look like?
Yeah.
That's a very common thing. I think, especially with quarantine, a lot of single people are
Right.
lonely. I know.
Sure.
And yeah, when's it going to happen for me? Am I going to be alone forever?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's true. So can you give them time frames or it's not so easy to give a time frame?
So everyone is different. I can usually give a time frame, and I usually see them. So I can usually give them a description of what the person looks like.
Ooh.
Sometimes I'm where they will actually meet them.
Mhm.
Uh, and yeah, the time frame though, the farthest out I've gone is 3 years.
3 years. Okay. Well, that's not
I
so bad.
don't know that I would be able to see farther than that. But again, sometimes it's angels telling me, within that time frame. And of course, it's also if your vibration is matching to theirs. If you have a little more work to do before
Right.
you can have one. It's also not something people really like to hear, but it's
I know.
needed.
They
Attract
want
the
it
right.
like yesterday or
Yes.
today. Yeah, yeah, I know, right? So a little bit of a lesson in patience too, right? Yeah. So now with can you share some stories of like validations? So people, come back to you and say, hey, you told me X, Y, and Z and this came out. Can you share a few stories where that's happened?
Yes. So actually, there was one who I did a reading maybe 2 years ago, I believe,
Mhm.
and that she wanted to know about her soulmate. So I told her what he looked like, when she was going to meet him, and she sent me a message. When they met, she was like, "I think this is the guy," and I was like, "I'm pretty sure this is the guy."
Yeah.
Um, and now they're engaged to be married.
Oh,
She
that's fantastic.
yeah, that's probably the best, right? I love to hear that. That really made me smile, made me happy.
Right.
Um, I think for future ones, well, another woman contacted me that saying that she had also met, the man that I had described
Mhm.
at the actual event that I told her she would meet him at. Um, so that was really cool.
That's
I've also
great.
trying to think of what else. Those are the ones that stick out to me the most. I think,
Yeah, those two. Yeah.
during readings, of course, there's some sort of validation, so someone knows whether it's a spirit or it's an angel or I'm being told something that would let them know that there's no way I would know this, unless someone else
Right.
from the other is telling me.
Yeah, same thing. It's like, okay, I'm saying all this and that, but I have no idea unless they say, yes, that is Uncle Harry, or, yeah, this is true. But yeah, isn't it so rewarding when someone comes back to you and says, yeah, you told me about this guy and wow, now we're engaged. Yeah, that's just so awesome. It just makes you feel like so satisfied and so fulfilled that you're helping someone and it actually comes out, right?
Absolutely, yeah, and
Yeah.
it really hope, for the
Yeah.
future.
Oh,
Better things are coming, and they will
yeah.
be happy.
Right. Yeah. Because hope is fantastic for everyone,
Yeah.
to keep us going because, life has its ups and downs, right?
Definitely.
Yeah. So you're not only a medium, you do have other services that you offer in your business. So can you please explain each one of them?
Yes. So I have a little holistic business, and the focus of my business is helping women love themselves after abusive relationships.
Mhm.
That's my main focus. So I'm a self-love coach. I do one-on-one coaching. I'm also working on creating an online course, a self-love course.
Oh, great
Uh,
idea. Mm.
yes. I'm also Reiki master, so I do energy healing as well. I'm
Mhm.
a psychic also, so I do a lot of readings. I also do past life regression therapy,
Ooh,
and
passive.
I make crystal healing jewelry.
Tell us a little bit more about the crystal healing jewelry. So what do you do? Make a necklace or a bracelet or earrings or?
All of the above.
Oh,
So,
okay, all of the above.
so I make necklaces and bracelets and earrings, anklets, all with crystals. Depending upon what someone needs help with. Whether it's something emotionally, spiritually, or physically.
Yeah.
We work together in turn to figure out what the best crystal would be, and then I create something for them.
Wow. So let's say someone's diagnosed with breast cancer. Would you be able to make something to help heal
Yeah,
them? Yeah. Mhm.
yeah, definitely. And the two crystals that come to mind that would help would be rose quartz and green aventurine. Would help with those two.
Oh, wow. Well, that's wow. So you really have a lot to offer. You have such a wide variety. So if someone wanted any one of your services, what would be the best way to reach you?
Through my website. So my website is heatherjuliacampbell.com. And that's the best way. Or you can always reach out to me on social media too. It's the same, Heather Julia Campbell, very easy to remember. And also the spelling is quite easy as well.
Right. Although, you know what? Why don't you spell it slowly because we do have some people on podcasts. So just listening in. So just
Sure.
go slow and spell it out so they'll know.
It's HeatherJuliaCampbell.com.
Perfect. Okay. So definitely contact Heather. She's got a variety of things for you to pick from. I'm curious to know at what age did you realize your abilities?
So 4 years ago, so I was 34, I'm 38 now.
Mhm.
When I realized my abilities. My best friend, actually, who passed away almost 10 years ago, came through to a medium who found me to give me a message. And once that message was received, I started to feel his presence, and other things too, right? Some really good, some really not so good.
Right.
It was a very scary thing that happened. It was very confusing, and I wasn't sure kind of what was going on. I was not a spiritual person at all. I believed in mediumship. I just never believed I was a medium.
Right.
Um,
Right.
yeah, it all kind of happened out of nowhere. And then I started to develop my gifts and learn how to use them.
Right. Wow. So yeah, it sounds a little similar to me. My sister had passed away. I went to a medium, and then it just seemed to move along from there. You know.
Yeah, so you totally get it. That's exactly what happened.
Yeah, so I'm totally with you on that one, but it's interesting because then there are other people who know at a very young age, 5, 6, or 10, that they have, these abilities, and they move forward along with it. But then some of us, I think we're always intuitive, but I guess it was just the timing of it to come out at a particular time was better, I guess, for us for whatever reason. And it just does seem sometimes people that have passed kind of help us to bring it out.
Yeah, absolutely. I think trauma too, right? Because I know, and I don't
Oh,
remember
yeah.
this. My mom has told me that when I was a child, maybe 4 or 5, I
Mhm.
used to play in a room by myself with my sister who had passed. So I was a twin, and she had
Oh,
passed right before I was born. And I used to play with her all the time. My mom would find me and she's like, "Who are you playing with?" And I'm like, "Well, my sister." And there was no one in the room with me. I don't remember, but she still tells me this.
yeah.
And then trauma throughout my life, my gifts were shut off, and then they
Right.
came back. 34.
Yeah, so I mean, that's proof that you did have it at a young age, but then just kind of got put to the side. And then, whatever reason, it's the right timing to be brought out again. And now you help people. And it's amazing how you help specifically, although not only limited to women who've been abused.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, wow. Truly amazing. And yeah, I have a sore spot for that too. I volunteer at a nonprofit that helps women that are abused. Wow, we have that in common too.
Uh,
Yeah. So are there areas of intuition that you'd like to expand? I mean, you've learned a lot, as you've been going along, but are there a couple other areas maybe you'd want to learn a little bit more about and maybe try out for yourself?
Absolutely. I think there's always something to learn and grow from, throughout your whole life. There's always more knowledge, different things that you can utilize. I
Right.
love speaking to other mediums, right? Like I was very fascinated with how you receive messages. I loved
Yeah.
talking to you.
Yeah.
I love learning from other people. And
People,
for me,
yeah.
my biggest challenge is receiving messages for myself. It's not so much that I can't, it's just I'm not as confident to receive messages for than I am for someone else.
Yep.
For
Totally
someone else,
with you. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
I'm like, wait, did I hear that right? Are you sure? Am I hearing, did I see that right? I kind of doubt and I ask for more signs. So I've really been working on being more confident with the messages that I receive for myself. So that's what I've been working on and I'd like to work on more as well.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it's true because sometimes you're like, well, is it really me just thinking it, or is it truly coming, for spirit? And it's right. If you're reading for someone else, it's easy because they'll just say, yes, that's Aunt Sally, and that's exactly what her personality is, and she would say something like that. So it's a lot easier. It's a lot easier to read for strangers. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's why I enjoy getting readings from other mediums
Right.
also.
Yeah, me too. I like to go to other people too. It's fun, and yeah. Because there are times when, yeah, you kind of doubt yourself for yourself. So
Yeah.
it's nice to hear it from somebody else. Yeah. So have you had any mentors or teachers that have helped you along the way with your intuitive abilities?
Yes, absolutely.
Mhm.
So her name is Brandeline Johnson. I found her online in the beginning of everything that was happening with me. I needed help and I really was terrified. And I didn't know how to navigate what to do. In the beginning, I had no control over anything. It was just kind of all happening at once.
Yeah.
Go outside and you hear your name being called, no one's there for the first time. It's really scary.
Scary.
I found her and I've taken, she does an intuition class and an advanced mediumship class. I've taken both of them. They've helped me tremendously because in the beginning, I thought it was feel. That was, clairsentience. That was my strongest sense that came.
Oh, right.
And I thought that was all I had,
Right.
which about anything, but with taking her classes, that really expanded everything to me. And I opened up, all the gifts that I didn't know I had. And I don't believe I would have been able to do that
Yeah.
as quickly as I did without her help.
Right. Okay. Wow. That's great. Yeah. It just seems, I'm trying to think, there is a saying, it's something like when the student is ready, the teacher appears. It's something like that, so it definitely helped. And yeah, I've had several mentors along the way and they're truly, truly helpful,
Yeah.
to bring it out. So what advice would you give to someone who wants to explore or expand their intuitive abilities?
I would recommend taking a class. Absolutely. Finding a mentor, finding a teacher,
Yeah.
someone that kind of honed in on all of their abilities and knows how to teach others how to not only enhance their gift, but open up gifts they don't even know about. Because it's hard to navigate even in the internet, there's so many different things you don't know, what you can put anything out there, whether
Right.
it's cheer.
You have to be careful.
So if you find someone who's kind of been through that process and has already gone through what you've been through, they can help you go through this and also give you the different tools to navigate through them rather than do it on your own. It'll take a
Right.
lot to expand your gifts and you'll also have someone to talk to. Because I
Yeah.
know a lot, especially in my experience, they feel like they're going crazy, when this first
Yeah.
happened. And no one will believe them, so they have no one to talk to, and they know that I will to me.
Right. It's like, oh, she sounds like she's nuts. You go to your brother, what are you talking about? Or your sister, what? Yeah. But if you start talking to someone who understands, it's like, oh wow, I'm not just imagining this, or yeah,
Yes,
I'm going crazy.
those shadows are something that I see,
Yeah,
you
they
know.
are. Yeah. I'm not losing my mind, right? Yeah. Yeah, that's so very true. Okay. So are you ready? I'd like to ask you, we'll start off with one question, who a man had sent something in. We do have actually a man that sent a question in. So it's from Tom, and Tom would like to know, when you die, do you get to see famous people?
That's a very interesting
Yeah,
question.
I found that very interesting. I never thought about it myself. Yeah, yeah.
Uh, okay, so in from what I've been taught and what I believe and kind of what I'm trying to see what I can pick up on. Um, you can see, you can meet anyone you'd like once you kind of cross over,
Right,
but the ego is gone. So that famous person is not necessarily that famous person to you anymore. Like it wouldn't be important to you to kind of go see that famous person that has passed, to find Elvis Presley or whoever it is that you
right,
want to see,
right.
the family that you're going to want to connect with. Those are going to be the famous people that you're going to want to see when you cross over. But of course, if you chose to connect with that soul, yes, absolutely you can.
Then you can. Yeah. Um, I'm going to ask a question before I ask you the next question from the viewer. Um, have you ever had a famous person connect with you, through a reading?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, you don't have to elaborate, but just a yes or no. Okay. So that has to be pretty interesting, right?
It was very interesting, and at first you like, wait, is this real? Is
Is it
this okay?
real? Is this
Or
really that person? Yeah.
am I doubting this? But then we ended up Googling it, and everything that he was saying, it was him.
It was
So
him. Wow. Oh, how cool is that? Wow. That's great. Okay. Um, so for the next question that was sent in, it's from Carol, and Carol would like to know, do you always know when you meet someone if you've known them in a past life?
okay, so you could. It's kind of a double-edged sword here with this one because depending upon where you are in your evolution, in terms of your consciousness, it would
Mhm.
depend, right? Like if I meet someone, yes, I can connect that. I know that they were absolutely from a past life. Not everyone is able to kind of connect that, but I do believe everyone that we do meet there, it was most likely from a past life. Even a stranger, that passes you by that kind of says hello or makes your day, they were from a past life. But if it's a strong connection,
Right.
most well, absolutely. You will feel you're like, I feel so comfortable with them. Like I just met you and I don't know why, and
Yeah.
most you will be able to know that it is from a past life.
Your past life, right? Yeah. Oh, I have another question to interject, kind of relating on that. So when you do a past life regression, um, is it kind of like using hypnosis in a way?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So you're putting someone in a light trance state
Mhm.
first, and then kind of walking them through a past life, one of their past lives.
Right. So you're basically kind of, they go into the hypnosis trance-like state, and then you kind of guide them,
Yes.
and then they start talking about what they see or feel or whatever. Yeah. Oh, very interesting. Yeah. So I guess one other question is like, oh, I don't want to leave you yet. I have these other questions for you. Have you found that people lived like many, many lives?
Yes. Many, 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 many lives.
Many, many. Yeah.
Not just like more than 10, a lot more than 10.
Wow. Okay.
I've been here, several different times. You've been here a lot more times than you actually realize.
Yeah.
Many different lifetimes.
Wow. And can you pick up um, if the person will have, a lot more or only like a few more, or does that just not come into play? It's more just focus on what has happened as opposed to what will.
So it depends, right? It depends on, some people want to know, they want like an actual quantifiable number, for
Right.
you to get. I don't always get that, right? I don't always get that type of number. But most likely it's children that have not had as many past lives, right? Like I'd say like 15 and under.
Right.
Different generation, they're different. I'm not sure how to say it with people, do we understand it? It's different for them.
No, yeah.
But for older people, there's been many, many different lives. Yeah.
Gosh, yeah. Oh, okay. Wow. Oh, I hate to say this, but we've run out of time, and it's just so fascinating. I could ask you like so many more questions, but well, we'll probably, maybe we can have you back another time.
Absolutely.
But yeah, but thank you so much, Heather. Really appreciate you coming on. And I'll just say one more time, if people are interested, please contact Heather at heatherjuliacampbell.com. That's her website, and it's just all one word. So look into her many services that she provides for people, and they're just so interesting. So I thank you, Heather, for joining us today. And I'd like to thank the viewers for joining us. And I'd just like to remind everyone, if you do have questions, please send them into my website, readingsbyphyllis.com, and we can go through and hopefully choose your question to be answered. So once again, thank you. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, everyone, for watching or listening. So everyone take care and God bless.
Thank you, Phyllis.
You're welcome.